In the age before the kingdoms of men, when the earth itself whispered secrets of power to those who dared to listen, there existed a path shrouded in mystery. A path known to the few who had the courage to master the fire within. It was not a path of mere strength or conquest, but of inner alchemy, the transmutation of desire into a force as potent as the sun, as unyielding as the mountains. The seed of man, sacred and vibrant, was the key, a molten essence that, if surrendered heedlessly, scattered the spirit, leaving the warrior weak and the kingless. Yet, for those who seized it, who restrained and sanctified it, the seed became the cornerstone of dominion. They became the iron-willed, whose gaze could ignite hearts, whose presence alone commanded respect. In the temples of old, in the hidden groves, where only the brave dared tread, elders spoke of the golden aura that manifested when a man learned to master his own flame, a radiance that drew muses and allies alike, and repelled those who sought to steal his essence. To embark upon this path, one must first confront the tempest of the flesh, that relentless storm that seeks to devour clarity and scatter the spirit. The body, a battlefield of impulses, hungers ceaselessly, whispering of fleeting pleasures, seducing the unwary with illusions of fulfillment. Yet, the ancient ones taught that mastery was not denial, but transmutation. The raw current of desire, instead of being squandered, could be directed as a river of gold through the temples of the mind and heart. With each act of restraint, the muscles of will grew stronger, the mind sharper, and the aura brighter. The disciple learned to walk amidst temptation as the lion stalks the savannah, aware of every movement, yet unmoved by the false calls of prey. In this crucible of discipline, the spirit hardens, and the body becomes a vessel of radiant magnetism, a beacon to those attuned to higher resonance. The second trial lies not in solitude, but in the world of illusions, where women, the muses of desire, appear as both guides and snares. In the ancient texts, they are described not as objects, but as mirrors of the soul, reflecting the latent power within the man. The one unmastered is ensnared, his fire dissipated. The master walks with the gravity of mountains, drawing the gaze without subjugation, commanding fascination without consent. This is the art of the golden aura. It does not coerce, it enthralls. Through self-restraint, the warrior becomes the axis upon which the world tilts, the magnet around which fate itself bends. Every glance, every word, every subtle gesture resonates with the energy accumulated from the sacred seed, a silent dominion that whispers louder than armies or gold. Those who attempt to sway him find themselves entranced, as if the very air around him hums with power that transcends the corporeal. Within this mastery, time itself bends. The ancient masters spoke of the elongation of life, of vigor untouched by decay, of senses heightened to perceive threads invisible to the uninitiated. The iron-willed who preserve their essence live not by the clock, but by the rhythm of the cosmos, attuned to cycles of creation and destruction, of dawn and dusk. Energy once wasted is now a reservoir, channeled into thought, action, and vision. In the forge of solitude, the disciple crafts not only the body, but the destiny, shaping reality with the precision of a smith hammering gold. Greatness, the texts insist, is never granted. It is forged, tempered by restraint, polished by clarity, and illuminated by the golden aura that emanates from the mastery of the seed. The true warrior's path is therefore a solitary pilgrimage, yet its fruits ripple through the world, touching nations, hearts, and generations. Yet mastery is more than accumulation. It is balance. To wield power without wisdom invites ruin. The golden aura is not a weapon to dominate blindly, but a shield that commands reverence while fostering creation. Ancient scrolls speak of the transmutation of desire into art, leadership, and vision, of energy flowing through the body like molten light, igniting passion without dependency. Those who achieve this become architects of reality, their presence shaping culture, their words influencing minds. The muse, no longer a tempter, becomes a partner in resonance, a witness to the power that respects itself and others. The iron-willed knows when to act and when to still, when to speak and when to embody silence, for every movement is calculated, every choice a reflection of the inner furnace of discipline. The path is perilous, for temptation manifests not only in others but within. Shadows of doubt, lethargy, and self-indulgence lie in wait, ready to snuff the inner flame. The ancient manuals insist on rigorous rituals, meditation, physical mastery, sacred study, and periods of reflection. The adept is taught to feel the energy rise within, to sense its oscillations, and to redirect it toward higher creation rather than transient gratification. Through this, the golden aura grows, not as a superficial glow, but as a resonance of the soul's alignment with cosmic law. The world perceives it as magnetism, but the enlightened recognize it as the harmony of power restrained, a proof that mastery over the seed mirrors mastery over destiny itself. As mastery deepens, the disciple realizes that desire itself is sacred, a divine fire meant to illuminate, not consume. Every temptation becomes a teacher, every challenge a forge, and every encounter a mirror of inner power. In this realization, the iron-willed attains freedom, freedom from fleeting passions, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the chains of ordinary men. The golden aura now radiates naturally, not from effort, but from alignment, the alignment of mind, body, and spirit with the eternal rhythms of creation. To see such a man is to feel the pulse of life itself, a vibration that inspires awe, respect, and unspoken surrender. For it is not coercion that rules, but the irresistible gravity of perfected discipline. Finally, the culmination of this path is not mere personal triumph, but the elevation of all that one touches. The ancient texts celebrate those who mastered the seed not to enslave, but to create, leaders who guided nations, warriors who protected the weak, artists who inspired generations, and lovers whose presence elevated the soul. Semen retention, iron will, and the golden aura converge into a singular force, the archetype of the modern myth, a man who embodies the sacred masculine in its purest form. He walks through the world untethered by base desire, yet fully alive, radiating dominion without oppression, magnetism without manipulation. To follow this path is to step into eternity itself, where the flame of the seed becomes the sun within, and the iron-willed golden aura warrior becomes legend. In the forgotten corridors of ancient wisdom, the secret of ultimate mastery over one's life and destiny has always been hidden in plain sight, veiled beneath the desires of the flesh and the fleeting indulgences of men. Semen, the very essence of masculine vitality, holds within it a power as ancient and potent as the stars, a force capable of shaping the mind, fortifying the spirit, and radiating influence that transcends mere physical presence. Yet, in the uninitiated, this seed is squandered, dissipated in ephemeral pleasures that leave the warrior weak, the kingless, and the soul dimmed. The path of semen retention is not one of mere abstinence, but of sacred alchemy, the transmutation of raw desire into unshakable willpower, clarity, and a magnetic aura that commands attention without effort. It is the forging of the iron-willed man, a being whose presence alone alters the flow of energy around him, whose gaze ignites admiration, reverence, and the silent awe of those who sense the hidden fire burning within. Every act of restraint is a hammer strike upon the anvil of the soul, each moment of discipline accumulating invisible strength, each temptation overcome transforming fleeting lust into enduring sovereignty. In this sacred journey, the disciple learns that desire is not an enemy but a teacher, a force to be mastered and elevated rather than suppressed or ignored, guiding the seeker toward inner dominion and mastery over the forces that govern both body and mind. The golden aura, which emerges from this disciplined transmutation, is not mere charisma or superficial charm. It is the visible manifestation of concentrated energy, a luminous field that surrounds the adept, signaling to the world that he has awakened the sacred masculine within, that he moves in alignment with the primordial rhythms of creation itself. Those attuned to such resonance are drawn naturally, unable to resist the gravity of a man who has learned to control his essence, whose magnetism is amplified by focus, courage, and the quiet intensity of self. Ancient texts and hidden teachings describe how such mastery elevates not only the individual but the environment around him, enhancing perception, intuition, and the capacity to inspire, lead, and create. The mind becomes sharper, the senses keener, the body stronger, and the soul aligned with a higher purpose, as if the very cosmos recognizes and rewards the discipline of the adept. Temptations, challenges, and distractions are transformed into instruments of growth, as each moment of restraint channels energy into vision, creativity, and enduring power. The iron-willed golden aura man walks a path of both solitude and influence, a silent force whose presence shapes destiny, whose words and actions resonate far beyond the ordinary, and whose inner fire radiates outward, drawing muses, allies, and destiny itself toward him. Semen retention becomes more than a practice. It becomes the crucible in which desire is purified, will is strengthened, and the sacred masculine rises to its highest expression, achieving dominance not through coercion but through mastery, magnetism, and the unstoppable force of concentrated, transmuted energy, leaving an indelible mark on the world, on those who encounter him, and on the very fabric of his own destiny. Before we conclude, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to drop your location in the comment side. Love to know where you are watching from. And if you ever have any questions, join our Telegram channel where we interact directly and help each other grow. The link is in the description. Please share video to your dear one. Have a powerful day.